So I'm going to give a brief introduction to Featurespace, and if you have any questions at the end, grab me or the devilishly handsome man with the gold tie on the back row. There he is. So, Featurespace. Well, we're a Cambridge spin-out. You're going to see lots of those at these sorts of conferences, but our CEO and CTO and the original founders of the company were obsessed with this idea that you can get a computer to understand humans better. And that's where they developed something called adaptive behavioral analytics, which I'm about to show you. So we're the world leader in it, and it's really the combination of two things: spotting the moment of change within data and using machine learning to understand human behavior. We've won lots of accolades over the last couple of years. So we're a Sunday Times Tech Track company. We're listed on Gartner's Cool Vendor. We also have a big business in the gambling sector, and we've won the best fraud and compliance tool for the last 2 years at the EGR Awards. So what I'm going to do now is just show you a bit about the research behind the company. And like I say, our CTO was obsessed with the idea that you can get a machine to understand humans. So he actually got video footage of 200 people walking on a treadmill and ran it through an early version of our technology. And what was interesting was when you take the data from those 200 people, the system came up with 4 different dimensions or ways to separate out the different types of behavior, and specifically how that behavior changes over time. So what we can do here on the right is you can see we've got a man walking or a person walking, and on the left we've got 4 characteristics that the system spotted. And what we can start to do is move these levers around to show how, as we change the prevalence of these characteristics, the person moves in a different way. So for example, pull the top slide to the left, more stereotypically male behavior, and pull it to the right, and the characteristics were more stereotypically female. But what's much more interesting is when we get down to some of the mood-related characteristics. So take nervous, for example. You pull the slider over to the left, and you see the shoulders get hunched up, the elbows go out. And we can see when the person's walking that it's someone who's nervous, but when we stop it and we look at those key characteristics, move the slider back into the middle and show you someone who's happy, actually the shoulders and elbows are in exactly the same position. And this is our unique approach. So we look at how the person moves over time. And we do that for a variety of different organizations. And we do it not by looking at how they move, but how they interact with your services, how they use their credit card, how they use their online banking portal, how they use mobile banking, telephone banking. All of that comes together to allow us to build these unique time series behavioral profiles. And what's great is we don't just do it for the consumer, but we can also do it for merchants, for ATMs, for literally anything. You can just throw all the data in and the system will learn the normal patterns of behavior and then start to spot when there's deviations from that. So in terms of case studies, well, we've got lots, and I've only got a few minutes, so I won't go through all of them. But what's great is that we can dramatically reduce your false positives and stop a lot more fraud in almost every application. So far, we've been tested for application fraud, transactional fraud, card fraud, different types of merchant fraud, even doing things like dynamic 3D secure for a number of big gaming merchants. We can also monitor your employees, so we can start to spot things like rogue trading, invoicing fraud, and account misuse. We've also done various bits around payments fraud, so we're starting to be used now for also transactional monitoring and AML. And to give you an idea of the impact, this is one of our customers who trialed the system. And one of the biggest problems with fraud prevention is this idea of false positives. So in the top left-hand side, you've got 10 to 1 and 23 to 1. Now what that means is this bank currently have to stop 10 transactions in order to spot 1 fraud. And on the right-hand side, you've got the line that goes up and down. That's the big problem with fraud, as well as operational efficiency, because you have to contact these people and verify them. When they switched over to using our system, and bear in mind these are one of the top in the industry, we were able to reduce the false positives like this. So we took about 70% of the false positives out, about 80% for online only, and we also dramatically reduced the number of investigations they had to do. So that's it from me. It's a very powerful system, it works in every channel, and we'd love you to come try it. Thank you very much.